just had to remove the battery tray to get to the ABS pump. To get to the battery tray, you have to remove airbox cover. Another thing that went on here, like one of those ways up. Oh no, that's the other cover. And that is the part number that I need to replace. Well, I need to replace this whole unit. So basically undo those, and then get it from underneath the mounting. I'm not looking forward to that. That's the bit I was looking for. Goes on there like that. That bit goes on top of it. Right, so we've got the part number, and I'm going to put that now into eBay. Let's see what we've got. So we've got 1K 0 614 517 AE. I'm not sure if that's going to make much difference. And it comes up straight away with, you'll see it on the screen, but it comes up with some pumps. Cheapest one there's £30 we see so far. If we filter by used, I'm only really looking at used ones at the moment, because for 30 quid, you know, if it doesn't solve the issue. The main thing I really want to know is whether there was any issues with the car. So doesn't really say in here whether there was the G201 error, so I'm going to have a look, contact the seller and just see whether there was any errors on the car, because I don't want to get one that had an error and then fit it and then find out I've got the same problem. So I'll have a look through and hopefully get one on order. While I'm waiting for the ABS pump to arrive, I dug out these mats, which I actually bought for my Mark V Golf, but because mine's a 2008, it's actually got the Mark VI fixings, so these don't actually work. But they're proper Volkswagen Mark V mats, and they're going to look a hell of a lot better than the ones in that Jetta. Yeah, as I said, these ones aren't nice. We've got the fixings there. That's better. I've now ordered the ABS pump. That was 30 quid. The seller said that there was no warning lights on the dash before it was removed, so I'm going to have to try and trust that for now. What I did find in the service history, if I just flip this round, quite a lot of service history with it. Obviously it's got a engine management light on as well, and there's two things that came up a few years ago. Was a P0401, I think that's actually meant to be P0234 overboost, although I haven't had any problems with it overboosting. But more importantly, the P0401 EGR Insufficient flow, and I think that may be the issue. So I'm going to whip that off and see whether it's all gummed up in there, give it a clean. It may even be that that's related to the overboost if it's had this issue, but that sort of could point towards the fact that I've had sort of a drop off of power at the top end. Maybe it's stuck partially open or something. So let's get that off as well while we've got half of the plastics off under the bonnet, and see if we can do anything with that as well. First thing is this off. That's going to make it a lot easier just to get off. It's a lot cleaner now. The first thing to do is slide this out. Might as well just remove it fully, just don't lose it. And now this pipe come off. Okay. Now I've seen things on YouTube where they've taken the pipe fully off, but I'm going to try and do it without doing that. It might not be that easy. But one thing you want to do is just cover that pipe up, because if you drop anything down there, it's going to end up in the turbo or in the engine. So we need to take this off. There's one down the back there, and it looks like there's another one behind. Yeah, just up there. Let's see what size that is. It's a 5mm Allen. This might be where I have the problem, with this being in the way, but we'll see. That's the first one. That comes loose quite easily. Want to be careful not to drop that. Alright, now the next one up the back. That one's going to be a bit harder, and this may be why they've suggested removing this pipe altogether. To it from this side. This, what we're actually taking off here, is the anti-shudder valve, which is basically what makes it a bit, well, one of its jobs is when you turn the engine off, it doesn't just sort of turn off abruptly like some old diesels did. It just helps them shut off a bit smoother. I'm guessing it might help for starting as well, I'm not really sure. would have been easier removing that pipe, but I'm just going to persevere for now. Nearly there. And it's out. Well, that must go through. I must go through both, because that one's pretty long, pretty filthy. So for this next one, I'm actually just going to pop this back just so I can get to this one here. Okay. I'll take that off again, and this comes free. There's the valve. So I've put the cloth back over so nothing falls in. Back with the 5mm. Okay, need the extension on that. And we want to remove this one, and there's one around the back there as well. And then basically that's the EGR valve. Oh, we need to undo these two on the pipe as well. That's basically the pipe that goes from the exhaust back into the inlet. Okay. One more to undo at the back. Now that one I can't undo actually until I've undone these, and these are, I believe, 6mm, so I need to go and get a socket for that. So it's the 6mm hex. I'm just going to undo this pipe. So I just had to switch cameras because the other one stopped. So I've got a smaller socket. It's almost impossible doing this one-handed. Okay, take that off. As you can see, the EGR valve's already falling away. Right, I'm going to have to just do this with two hands and I'll be back. Right, that's undone. It's just this vacuum pipe to pull off. Now I'd say it doesn't look like it's really been working, but definitely do with a clean. So we've now got EGR valve off, which goes there. There's the ABS pump that I need to replace. So hopefully, once both of those are sorted out, there'll be no more errors. Just seen inside the end of that pipe. That also isn't going to help. Going to have to give that a good clean up as well. So this was pretty grotty in here, and I can now press this down. It wasn't working before, and cleaned out quite a lot of stuff from there. It also looks a lot better inside, but it still needs some cleaning up. But the main thing is it moves and it opens, so I'm hoping that if I take the engine management light off, if I delete the code, that that was the issue. So I'm going to finish getting these cleaned up, probably off camera. I'm just going to use a little bit of petrol because I've run out of oven cleaner. Do that outside, and then I'll come back when that's done. So giving them a clean up. I mean, they're not perfect, but a lot better than they were. So that's the anti-shudder valve, and it's not very easy to see with this light, but yeah, there's the EGR valve. It's looking a lot better, and it does move now. So let's get them back on the car. I'm sitting down here because of the sun, but got the items, going to put them back on the car off camera, and I'll probably plug the battery in and test it after actually, and just see whether we still get the errors. All back together. That was the hardest thing, just getting that in, but I found putting the clip in first and then clipping the pipe on after worked better. So I'm going to test it now. I'm going to get the pipe on here so that I can plug the airflow meter on and that pipe, get the battery on, and see whether we've still got the error. So I've got it all back temporarily. There's no air filter on there. Battery's just resting on the battery box. So let's give this a go. I haven't actually turned the light off yet, so we'll see if it does it automatically. Okay, no, it's still there, but I think because I've had the other I've had stuff off, I've also got steering wheel sensor, so let's see what happens. I might have to turn it off manually. Okay, so I've got two faults found. Let's just read the faults. Stored. So we've got the overboost, which was the one we had before, and the exhaust gas. So let's alright, yeah, previous menu. Alright, let's erase the codes. Yep. Alright, let's start the car again. Code's gone. Let's see if we can get rid of the steering code. Might have to drive it for that. So this is the second time I've had to film this outro because my phone storage filled up. So yeah, I'm happy with what I did. Got the EGR valve back on. All seemed to be okay. I won't know if the engine management light's going to stay off until I drive it. Hopefully also the other lights from the ABS and the steering sensor will go off as well. They normally go off within the first 20, 30, 40 meters. And then in a few days time I'll be getting my ABS pump and we should be complete. So that will be in part 2. I think we're about 15-20 minutes now, and yeah, time to wrap this one up. So see you in the next one. Bye.